Welcome everyone to the Fighting Dementia Podcast. I'm Leon, one of the co-hosts, and we're a podcast for those in the early to middle stage of the disease, helping people who are living with dementia or supporting the people who support those living with dementia. We're here to talk about behaviour change, how you can live well with dementia, and help you on your own journey. And I do this alongside my co-hosts, Fran and Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I was diagnosed with dementia 8 years ago, and I do this podcast to try and help. If I can help just one person by doing this podcast, I've done something good, and I really enjoy this podcast.
Hiya, I'm Fran. I was diagnosed 5 years ago with mixed dementia. I've got vascular dementia and also Alzheimer's. I'm here to help you navigate through your dementia journey.
Welcome to the Fighting Dementia Podcast.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
We're joined by Marian again, following on from last week. Welcome, Marian.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on. And I suppose we'll pick up the conversation from, talking about, I suppose, our water intake for the last week, which is why, again, we wanted to have you back on, Marian, and just have a look and see if anything we've been discussed in that area has helped.
Well, it's helped me.
What are you trying to say?
I am aware that we need to take on more water, and I do try and encourage Tom to have more water. I do make sure he's had a drink.
Yeah.
But he does actually prefer a cup of tea than a glass of water.
Okay. And has that helped since last week, would you say, Tom, or have you thought about it more? No?
When I come home from work, like I said before, I will have a drink.
Yeah.
But once I get home and sit down, I don't want to move again. So it's just me being lazy, not going to the fridge and getting a glass of water or a bottle of water out. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I know I should be drinking more. But I'm just a lazy bugger, that's all.
And so why would you say it's helped you, Marian?
It's just made me more aware. I know when I'm at work, I have a flask full of water on my desk.
Yeah.
So I drink that throughout the day. And because it's on my desk, it's there to hand.
Nice.
But I don't drink as much at home. But if I want to drink during the day, it's always water. I have a cup of tea first thing in the morning, and then I drink water the rest of the day.
Awesome. And how about you, Fran? How's it going? Because I know you, well, we'll come on to that. We had a little walk at the weekend, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you were walking out with a piece of cake, but then showed me a water bottle. So I'm having cake, but look, I've got me water. So how's it been
Well, that
going?
was my last piece of cake.
Oh, okay.
Because I've started now.
Yeah.
And I said to Frank, I feel like Alice in Wonderland. I've got a bottle in the fridge and it's got drink me on it. So, I've been drinking more water.
Have
now.
you?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And basically just cutting down on things. I haven't had no cake, no chocolates. But if the need be, if I'm out or I'm doing something, I may well have some. But right now I'm just trying to give it a go and see if it does work and it does make me feel better or, it gives me a bit more energy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know, but it probably will do. So I'm just looking at my diet right through now and with Frank as well. So, I'm looking forward to it. So I'm 3 days in.
Fantastic.
Have you seen the water bottles that you get? And it has like the time of the day.
Yeah.
So
And then
you
how
fill
much
it
you
up.
drink. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think
And
they
then
have definitely.
You have it's like 11 o'clock, like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you refill
Because
them.
the idea is you don't drink like 3 pints of water in one go because that's actually not that good for you.
So
You're
you
supposed
just
to
drink
throughout
up
the day.
to, at that time of
Spend
day.
a penny every 5 minutes, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wanted to start on that behaviour change stuff because later on we're going to be interviewing George Rook, who was diagnosed, I believe, around 11 years ago.
That's amazing.
He's got a blog, found him on Twitter, reached out to him, and he's been really active in the dementia community, so really interested to have a chat with him.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
And he'd mentioned to me that he'd recently joined a gym, so really excited to hear more about his journey and what he's done because he was also diagnosed with young onset dementia. So it'd be great to have him on and we can all ask him questions later, which would be nice.
11 years is encouraging, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I like the sound of that.
It'd be really cool. And we all went on a walk around the local park to us, Coldstones, at the weekend with the Sedgemoor community. And it was really nice to hear so many positive comments about the podcast from so many different people, both supporters of people living with dementia, but also people living with dementia themselves, in terms of it's made, I heard various comments, but how it's felt. Someone with dementia, had said that, I can't remember who it was, but that she'd heard you talking about some of your experiences.
Yeah.
And it made her feel much better because she'd experienced the same, but hadn't ever spoke to anyone about it.
Yeah.
So I think that was really powerful. It may have been,
yeah.
So I don't know how you guys found the walk and whether you got any feedback from the podcast and stuff. Yeah,
it was good. Yeah, because we were just chatting, and as you say, there was a lady that I had met who just came to Sedgemoor, I believe. I didn't go to the last one. I think I was sick.
Oh, she was new to the group.
Something was going on. Yeah, and she was new to the group, and she was her husband, and we just chatted basically about, how things were and what things can happen, and what had happened to me and what had happened to other people in the group. And she, it was just nice because you could tell they were still a bit worried and a bit scared. And but it was just nice to talk to them. And then as you were walking, depending on what pace you went on, you'd go and speak to someone else then. And then it was just, everyone was sort of just veering off to each other without any, no one felt uncomfortable that I'm aware of. I don't know whether you felt that as well. But everyone was just talking and chatting. And it wasn't just us, it was the people who support us as well. Yeah. Because I had my family with me, and my granddaughter, and there was lots of people like that. They all had their families with them, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was really nice because
I loved the cake.
I couldn't eat any, unfortunately.
I didn't have any cake.
Oh, I did. I knew I was going to stop eating it.
Better say I did as well. I had some.
But yeah, it was really nice to catch up with so many different people, because obviously we were on the news and stuff, so a lot of people had seen that and getting different feedback, and also what people wanted to see more from the show. So there was lots of different ideas discussed about, seeing the journey, and then whether we could review products or whether we could talk about different technologies that people use or different things that people get up to. So another reason why I'm excited to hear from George and see, what's kept him going, because I know he's really active in the community as well in different ways to what Sedgemoor is. So I think that'll be really interesting to hear, from someone like George, who's probably done things wildly differently to what's going on in Sedgemoor, but, still doing really well 11 years after diagnosis. So it should be really cool. The other thing I wanted to talk about was sort of the goals of the podcast, the goals of like myself and the company behind the podcast, and then also your goals in terms of, I know you both have said you love doing it, and for some reason I keep checking in every week to make sure you're still loving doing it.
Why, I think we'll tell you as well when we're not.
I get that impression, to be fair.
Don't worry about that.
So I wanted to hear like what are your goals, Tom, with doing the podcast, and
I want people to see that you can have a life with the diagnosis of dementia. It's not the be all and end all as soon as you get it. Not like we see on the telly where it's always the end process you see, but you just carry on with your life and do what you got to do. And enjoy life. I do.
Absolutely.
I know everyone's different.
Yeah.
I think when we got the diagnosis, we did think that at first, but we didn't know anybody that had it before.
Yeah.
So when Tom got his diagnosis, we thought that was over, but you don't know how long you've got to live.
Yeah.
And being more active, Tom's into a routine. We honestly think that's keeping him going.
Yeah. And so do you think the podcast is helping with some of that? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
I like it. Because I'm out the cupboard.
And he just, I think there's a purpose to it for him as well. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, I think once you decide what you're going to do and you go for it, like I have and Tom has, because sometimes it takes you a little while to get used to the idea that you've got something that's not going to get better.
Yeah.
But then you just think to yourself, well, no, I've got to get up every day and I've got to, and I think we've said it before, haven't we, Tom? So you just have to get up and do what you can do and have a different adventure from what you had before that. Yes, it does change your life. Yes, it does stop you doing things, but it also lets you do different things. You meet different people. I've met so many nice people, and the thing for me is that I would just like people who will listen to this to know that we really do appreciate the people who support us. And I think sometimes that goes beside the way. And I like to think that, we're going to get to someone who will know that there is support out there and that there's all different types of dementia. There's all different ways people react to it. And there's all, like Tom and I are slightly different in one way, but we've both got Alzheimer's, but I've got vascular and Tom's got the
temporal frontal lobe, do you?
Yeah.
Whatever it's called.
So, and some people just have, not just have, because having one is enough. But just to give people, educate people, let them know that, it's not the end of your life. Yeah. For some people who have progressed quickly or gone into dementia quicker than others, that's unfortunate and it's very, very sad. And that's what I thought, that's what was going to happen to me.
Yeah.
But fortunately, it hasn't. I do have bad days. I do have off days. I do forget things. I do things that are a bit silly sometimes. And but I just get up every morning like Tom and just get out there, basically. Yeah. It doesn't mean to say that I get out there and go all over the place. Some days I will have a rest day and I will have a rest and I'll do things differently. But I just want people to know that it's not the end of your life. Yeah. It's a chance to try something different with the ability that you've got cognitively.
Yeah. And you've given talks in universities, you've given talks at Alzheimer's Society events. Yeah. And I think that in the book that we discussed in episode 1, regarding the guy who'd written books about reversing Alzheimer's and brain health to 100 and all that type of stuff, he talked about where there's a why, there's a will. And if you have a sense of purpose, then you can have that will to put the effort in that's needed. Because one of the guys we were chatting to on the walk on Saturday, Phil, was saying, I say, how do you keep active? Because he's doing really well and he's in the gym 3 or 4 times a week and he's got a community at the gym. And he was diagnosed a couple of years ago and he was like, use it or lose it. Yeah, it's his attitude to it. And I think that it is a lot of effort to use your brain and to be active and to be out there. And, you've got the train and then a bus to get here today because Frank wasn't around to give you a lift, and all that effort and energy you've got, and then to come and do the podcasts, you're having to, it is use it or lose it, isn't it? If you weren't doing that and you were at home.
And you're talking to other people, different people. I talk to anyone and I talk to people on the bus and the bus conductor,
Anybody.
Yeah. We hope you're enjoying this episode. If you've got any questions, please do leave us a comment on social media.
We're more than happy to answer any questions from our personal experience. And we'd be happy to do that if you had any. And if we don't know the answer, then we'll go and find the information for you.
We certainly will.
Yeah. So, and I think that, the goals for us and for me and for the company, because, I've got a tech background and, if you listen to season 1, episode 1 of the first podcast, go into more detail about why we started this podcast and why we started the company. It was all around reminiscence therapy for dementia. Since then, in December, we launched a product that's all about your life story, which you've used a fair bit, Tom, but it's really not ready for mass consumption yet because we haven't had the resources to invest to where we want it to get to. But something we want to do with the podcast is sort of co-create it with you guys and the audience. So in a couple of weeks, my co-founder Adam will be coming on, and we're going to launch like a free app that's going to have like a daily journal attached to it, and some other brain games, and a podcast clip, a new podcast clip every day. So hopefully together we can sort of build something that really helps support the behaviour change stuff that we're talking about, because not everyone has an attitude like you from day one of diagnosis. And it's like, how can we support them both through the podcast, but also with some technology that supports as well, that's designed specifically for people who want to, fight the disease progression.
I think the other thing for me is that it's important for like NHS's healthcare professionals, people who are dealing with people now, who we're all getting older. We don't, one time getting to 70 odd or something like that wasn't as, you thought that after your 60s, that was it. But, people in the healthcare profession need to know what this does to you and how we cope with it and how we deal with it, and with their support. So when you go into hospital or somewhere unnatural to you, and this is for everybody, it's for like people who work in shops, who deal with people who've got dementia, people, just everybody really.
Yeah.
But it just give them all an insight into how we would like to be treated.
Yeah.
And, we know it's busy days now and there's lots going on, but we just wanted to be treated nicely.
Same as everybody else.
Yeah.
No different.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've actually got a lady from a cinema chain coming on next week.
Oh, have
and
you?
they have got dementia-friendly screenings.
Yeah.
And they're really passionate about it. So, really looking forward to talking to them.
Brilliant.
And I think if we could, through the podcast as well, like you're saying, influence organisations to understand it more.
Yeah.
I heard that Morrison's do a dementia-friendly shopping day. And then when I asked about it actually at the weekend, someone had said, oh, yeah, they just stick it in the times when it's like inconvenient for people, because they're doing it at times that are good for Morrison's type thing. They're not necessarily thinking about whether it's the right time for someone who actually lives with dementia. So I think the more that we can push for that, hopefully we can grow the listenership, hopefully we can grow the impact. The more organisations can start to understand it and take it seriously and provide support.
And there is some organisations that are, but they don't get the broadcasts of, we do this, we do that.
Yeah.
Because people don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
And won't, or people are frightened to go because they don't know how their partner or the person they're looking after is going to react when they do go.
Yeah.
So it's difficult in some cases, I think. And the age difference now. It's not just people who've got elderly, it's young onset dementia, and that's what we're really trying to put out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
All of us. So that's something that
for sure. And it's becoming more prevalent, which I was told by Sherilyn, who runs the group, that it is becoming more prevalent, unfortunately. So
life's changed.
Yeah.
Medical things have come along so amazingly that way, people are living longer.
Yeah.
And but unfortunately, younger people now are experiencing young onset dementia. Whether it's always been there and we haven't noticed and it was dealt with as something else, we don't know. And this is what you're talking about by behaviour changes.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I keep coming back to it because of everything that I've learned around the condition for the last 2.5 years. 50% is preventable. The whole idea of neuroplasticity, which we've talked about in terms of being able to change the rate of change, of progression of your own brain if it is degenerating. And I wanted to ask you, Marian, like when you hear about behaviour change and we talk about it in the podcast, because we've only really spoke about that when it was me, Fran and Tom, how does that land with you as someone who supports Tom every day?
I think it's a good thing. And if you can live as healthy and be active, I'm sure that does help you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't eat unhealthy. We do have, the odd snacks that are unhealthy. Our main meals are usually cooked from scratch. I don't buy jarred sauces or anything like that. We usually cook everything from scratch. So we do try that way, but obviously we eat crisps and biscuits.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't eat them at all.
Well,
Cakes.
yeah, bringing it
Not
back
as
to
much
the
cake, only if I bake.
I was going to say.
But I don't eat many of the cakes I bake.
I think the whole idea of what we're trying to do is create a community that feels supported in behaviour change.
Yeah.
Both, supported with knowledge, but also supported in behaviour change. So we were talking last week about putting sticky notes on the fridge to remind, hey, I've opened the fridge, have a glass of water. And so we want to create some labels that's like, we're fighting this together, and then like a little white area, which we'll create for next week and hopefully be able to bring them along and just give them away for free, really, to anyone who would like them. To sort of, you could stick some labels in the
Cupboard?
In the cupboard where all the crisps are, for example. That's like,
Or
if you
where
want a
Tom
bag
is.
of crisps, or where Tom is, exactly.
That's where he must go. He must go in the cupboard
So-
with his goodie bag.
I think the more that we can learn together and we can get feedback on ideas and things that can help, both that are like labels that are very simple, or whether it's the technology we're building in the free app or the app that we want to do around life stories. And we've talked about having like an Alexa style device that could be in the home. I think the more that we can build it together, the more that we could actually build something that works for everyone and that is valuable.
Yeah. We do have like post-it labels on the door. So top has got, don't forget your phone, don't forget your keys.
Yeah.
So
I could do with them. Can you write me some?
Got my phone today.
Get your appointment.
So we have got sticky labels for that. So we need it on the fridge, really, to when he opens the fridge, he knows. Or I need to get, because the water we have, it's in the bottom drawer. Need to put it at eye level.
Yeah.
So when you open the fridge, you see the water. Oh, I'll need some water.
Yeah. Well, I want to drink more water, and what you said about it not being when it's warm or it's not nice. Like, so it's making me think we'll have these labels. I'm going to stick one on the fridge because it will remind me, but also stick one on the water cooler to say put me in the fridge. Like the water filter, so that it's actually in the fridge, and then I see the thing. And I think it's fascinating, even for myself, thinking about how do I make sure that I'm drinking, because I don't on certain days when things get in the way. You get distracted and it's busy. Like I don't. So I'm excited to try some of these little things around all that behavioural science stuff as well. So hopefully together over time, through the listeners, through us chatting, through talking to the people in Sedgemoor, we can start to like practically help people.
I didn't realise how much I didn't drink water.
Right.
I just have a cup of coffee.
Well, I can tell your skin's glowing.
Yeah.
Must be all that
makeup.
water. Yeah, is it? Okay.
Gotta be,
Yeah, but I didn't realise how much I don't drink water.
Right. Well,
I thought so. But I don't want to get in the habit of drinking, using plastic bottles and all stuff like that. I just want to, just go and put water in the fridge.
of course, yeah.
Sticky on it.
Well, even just, we've been talking about water for a couple of weeks now, and then when you really get into talking about something regularly, you realise, it's just not that easy, is it, to just say drink water? And I think that's where the labels come in, and talking about it more and thinking, you've got an Alexa reminder for water, and sometimes, you tend to ignore it. So then it's like, okay, how else do you go about it?
I think you need something you have to interact with to say, yes, I've drank this water.
Yeah.
Because I just, like you said, I do ignore it now and again.
Yeah.
It's not because I don't want it. I just come home from work.
You don't
and I
think
just
about
sit down
it.
and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't want to move again for at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
I used to have a smartwatch. It used to tell me to move. I used to ignore that and all.
And that's it. And that's dealing with the practical realities of behaviour change.
Yeah.
And I think the more we talk about it, the more we can all learn. And then hopefully the more we can support other people with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's like you said, isn't it, that
George, yeah.
George is coming on, and, he's obviously changed a lot of his behaviours. And some won't suit other people, but they
Absolutely.
can change theirs a different way, can't
Absolutely.
they? Or we can,
Absolutely.
you know. So it's just a matter of getting the right thing for you.
Yeah.
That makes you.
And the more we can share more information
Yeah.
in lots of different topics, in
Yeah.
lots of different ways, then hopefully it can help as many people as
Yeah.
possible.
Used to like them topics. They're very nice.
They're not as nutty now.
Aren't they?
Do they still
They're
exist?
about that big,
Oh, stop
and
with
they're
that,
about
isn't
that
it?
thin,
Oh dear.
and they've got about 2 nuts in them. I used to love them.
That's a chocolate bar in the UK for our
3 of us
Yeah.
here.
international
3 nuts.
listeners.
I used to love topics.
Cool. So we'll have a
Yum.
quick break and then we'll come back and have a
Okay,
chat with George.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
We really hope you're enjoying this podcast. We want this to be one of the best free resources for any family affected by dementia. With your help, we can build the biggest community in the world for supporting, guiding and comforting everyone who faces cognitive issues and the people around them. So please hit that subscribe button or share it with someone who needs it. Welcome back, everyone, and a pleasure to be joined by George Rook. Hi, George.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm having quite a good day. I like the rest of us, have good days and bad days. In fact, good hours and bad hours sometimes. And you never really know what's coming next.
Oh, well, it's good that you're having a good day today. Do you want to give a little bit of because I remember seeing the bottom of your email and there was various positions and things that you had held. Do you want to give like a bit of an intro to that before we jump in?
Yeah, sure. So, as you said at the beginning of this podcast, I was diagnosed with mixed dementia 11 years ago. I was just coming to the end of working, and I realised soon after that was because I wasn't coping very well. And I was 62, I think, or 63. I immediately got involved with the DEEP network, the 80 or so groups, although I ought to rephrase that. I got involved with the DEEP network through meeting people from the groups at various conferences or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we just suited each other. I just found people who just thought very similar to me about dementia and about life. And also, I loved the fact that there were deep groups, but largely groups of people with dementia without others there. Some do have others, but the great thing about meeting and sitting with or doing whatever with other people with dementia is that you can relax and you don't get questioned. You don't get those sort of, you don't look as if you've got dementia. All that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I still get that. My doctor, GP, the other day said, "Are you sure you've got dementia?"
I think Fran and Tom are still getting
after.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I was really interested in what you were saying earlier about keeping your brain active. I'd go slightly further than that, say keep socially engaged as well as using your brain, because as you said, use it or lose it. But not only using and retaining pathways in your brain, but actually growing new ones, developing new ones through the brain plasticity, as you mentioned.
Absolutely.
So for me, a bit like Fran was saying earlier, I've developed a complete new set of friends, and probably the best friends I've ever had. All around the country. We meet over Zoom usually. Very rarely now do we actually meet in person, but we know each other really well. And I was helped to learn to paint 4 years ago by a lady called Fran, as it happens, who is an artist with a form of dementia down in Brecon. And she helped me and a few other people to just develop, just to play with colours and watercolour, and just, in a sense, to try it after years, lifetime of thinking, because we were told, "Oh, can't paint, can you? You can't paint." My teachers used to say, "You've got no imagination. You can't possibly paint or draw, etc., etc."
Yeah.
Well, I lived a life with that until 4 years ago. Started to paint, and I really love it. They're not all great paintings, I have to add, but there we are.
Well, it's the process of taking on a new skill, isn't it, and practicing it, and
exactly.
Yeah.
And also, if you're painting, it's one of the activities which you actually give your whole mind to. I often have some background music going on, but basically, I don't think of other things. So it's great for well-being, I think is the word. And there's another phrase. Anyway, whatever it is. So, in terms of the other stuff I've done and do, I have chaired for the last probably 10 years now the Shropshire and Telford. I live in Shropshire. Shropshire and Telford Dementia Working Group or Steering Group, and between us we developed a better model of care and support for people with dementia in Shropshire and Telford. It is in the process of being implemented, but of course, as we all know, health services at the moment don't have any money. Commissioners don't have any money. So it's a very, very slow progress. But if it were, and when it is fully implemented, it'll follow very much what the government's saying at the moment in terms of their Dementia 100 toolkit. And we are, I think we've been led to expect a mandated pathway for people with before, during, and after diagnosis. At the moment, any pathways that are suggested or put forward by the government are always totally dependent on what your local commissioners decide to do.
Yeah, postcode
and
lottery.
How much money they'll put into it.
Yeah.
Postcode lottery. Yep. So, what was I going with that? Hang on. So I do still lose my way sometimes.
It's okay.
No worries.
We all do.
So I've been doing that. I've also started and facilitate. I started 2 deep groups here in Shropshire, one in Shrewsbury, one in Ellesmere, and I delivered something called Good Life with Dementia course about a year ago in Ellesmere to 12 people who had only recently been diagnosed, mainly men, and interestingly, because the course is just 6 sessions talking about dementia, but me also providing as much useful information as possible. So I delivered that, and people started saying on about week 2, I'd never talked to anybody about this before. I don't know what to say. I don't know whether to tell people. I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm frightened. Blah, 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 blah. So it's a really useful thing to actually just talk to other people and share your ideas, share your knowledge. And we've all got ways of dealing with our situation. we find little tricks to help us. Maybe to stop us putting tea in the coffee jug, or that's a common one. Or to, oh God, I can't think of any now. Anyway.
Yeah. What in regards to that? What were the first habits or routines that you changed after the diagnosis, and how did you choose them?
Right. I didn't receive any guidance, information, or help on how to live well with dementia.
Mm-hmm.
The community nurse who led on the young onset dementia came to me 2-3 weeks after diagnosis and said 3 things. Don't get tired. Don't do too much. Don't take risks.
Dandy.
Right.
Dear me.
So that went in the bin, metaphorically. She also gave me a plastic bag full of leaflets, booklets. So basically, because I met these guys from the Deep Network, and just because maybe I am who I am, I found out for myself, and I thought, God, it's so awful, the lack of support, lack of understanding. I just wanted to put that right.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I couldn't do it on my own, but I've tried my best. Changed habits. Well, I gave up alcohol 5.5 years ago. Not immediately after getting a diagnosis, but it certainly helped me. I was drinking all my life. I've drunk. I wouldn't say hugely, but regularly. So giving up has helped me keep my brain intact, I think.
Mm.
And you feel better, not waking up with a bloody hangover. I think I have tried to eat more healthily. I know I should, but I know what I already do relatively. I mean, I don't eat crisps.
Mm.
That's what I throw that in. But I'm not perfect in what I eat and don't eat. But I do know, and everything I read tells me that good diet of healthy food, avoiding as much as possible junk food, will certainly be good for your brain health. As will exercise, as will learning new skills or knowledge, and as will being socially engaged and giving of your time and skills. This is not necessarily directly related to dementia, but one of the things I find is I'm really quite anxious about the fact that so many of us have a whole lifetime of experience, knowledge, wisdom, whatever. And we all have it. And then it dies with us. And the next generation have to learn it. I just want to sort of try to bridge that gap a bit.
Well, you're doing a great job, because the last 10 minutes you've passed on a lot of wisdom.
Amazing.
Well, maybe.
And how do you stay motivated to keep up with the changes and doing the art, and especially on the hard days?
Well, on a really hard day, I just don't do anything. But something in the back of my head always says it'll get better. I'll be okay tomorrow. I'll just have a day off. But it's just wanting to make a difference, wanting to change the awfulness of the dementia world at the moment. I am so sick of certain charities referring to the devastation of dementia. I have just been working out the truth behind the 1 in 2 people will be affected by dementia or 1 in 3 will get it. Because that is an incredibly inflated claim. It is statistically, if you know the background to it, statistically it makes sense. But what they've done is work out, if you don't die of anything else, how many of you will die of dementia? And probably over 85, it's 1 in 3. But at 65, it's 1 in 11. And at 45, it's 1 in 2,000. You know, it's used to frighten people so they give money.
Yeah, I get that
But it
feeling.
is a totally misleading, negative, horrifying view of dementia.
I think you've said that before, haven't you, Fran? Where you're fed up of seeing everything about dementia being the later stages.
Being negative. Everything that you come across when you're first diagnosed is the negativity of people. And when you're trying to discuss something, it's, oh, well, you'll be okay. Don't worry. Like you said before, look at you. You don't look like you've got dementia. You don't look like someone who can't do this and can't do that. But my theory is, what am I supposed to look like with dementia?
Yeah, quite.
Because you haven't got a physical sign, or people just assume by looking at you that, oh, you haven't got that. I've got that worse than you have. That's something that always used to come up. Oh, I forget everything, so, you know, you're just like
that's
me.
right. The doctor says, oh, I can't remember. I lose my keys all the time. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a different
so
type
unhelpful.
of loss, and I don't think people realise that. It's not like you've just forgot to put the kettle on, or it just, your neuro pathways don't recognise, as you were saying before, you make new ones, and you have to make new ones because that's what gets you through the day and through your life from when you're first diagnosed. I mean, your case is so similar to mine.
Through Zoom, through our various researchy things and campaigning and whatever, everybody who I know who is active in those groups are lasting a lot longer than the average prediction.
Yeah.
I know people who've had it for 20 years. I know people who've had it for 15, 10, whatever. I've had it for 11. And we are all convinced that actually we are keeping it at bay because we are using our brains so much.
And you've got a real strong, obviously, sense of purpose. And I think I mentioned before, where there's a why, there's a will. And if there's a will, then it's going to keep you going on the hard days. It's going to keep you two coming here every week. You've got a sense of purpose to help other people, but also maybe to change some of the systems, whether it's the NHS, whether it's organisations, like we mentioned. I think it's unbelievably powerful to have a real strong sense of purpose.
See, I'm still working, and that keeps me going because I've got a routine. I get up in the morning, go to work, do what I've got to do, and I feel really good about how I feel. And I think it's just being at work that does that.
And you're meeting different people, aren't you, Tom, all the time?
All the time. But I was like you, though. I was diagnosed, and I was with the memory clinic for about a week, I think. And then that was it then. There was nothing else.
Yeah.
You're just thrown out. See ya.
Yeah.
I think that what you were saying before about the 3 steps, I think with the NHS, and I'm an ex-nurse, and I think that it should be a standard procedure for every hospital, so they have it the same, and every GP practice, so, or healthcare where it's given, is that they have the same protocol to follow across the country. Not just one hospital, like you were saying, the commissioners are different. But they should, now they have what we call a Muse chart, where it measures people's observations, and then they can, from then, know how to proceed if it's an emergency, if it's not, or so that's now is in every hospital and is the same.
Mm-hmm.
If I went to work in another hospital, it would be the same as the hospital that I've just left in Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I think for dementia patients, these things should be taken into consideration and used the same, so you feel safe.
Well, I mean, taking up that hospital point, 40%, or is it 35%, of patients in hospital admitted have dementia.
Mm-hmm.
And yet the quality of training
Yeah.
of an understanding amongst the staff at all levels is pathetically poor. And they don't have much time, etc., etc. They're under pressure, and there are vacancies and whatever. But the basic understanding of living with dementia is just not there. Otherwise, they wouldn't do things they do, like moving you around wards all the time. People have 5 or 6 moves in 3-4 days, and every time they get disorientated again. Yeah,
It's fascinating. And I think we need to keep you coming back on to talk about your journey to fight the system, because I think we're definitely interested in how you get on with that and talking about that more regularly, because it's not just behaviour change for someone living with dementia, it's behaviour change for society and people around them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What advice, George, would you give to someone newly diagnosed or to their family?
Okay, to the person, keep on doing just what you were doing before. Don't stop anything. But equally, find other things that you enjoy doing. Do anything that gives you pleasure. And to hell with risks. I mean, you wouldn't go and jump off a cliff, but at the same time, there are risks all around us all the time. So just do what you want to do. And if you need a bit of support to help you, you'll probably find it. But for goodness sake, don't sit at home and think the world is over, because it isn't. You're the same person as you were the day before your diagnosis. And often, if you keep living well, as well as you can, and we can't all the time, but if you keep living as well as you can and as active as possible, you will last a lot longer.
That's brilliant. It's brilliant that people are going to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, good. Yeah.
And looking back, what behaviour changes do you think have made the biggest difference in your quality of life?
I think probably the biggest thing was whenever an idea comes along or an offer of some sort of meeting or something, I just say yes. Every time. That's why I'm involved in 4 or 5 research projects now. And I'm and I go, I have so many meetings during the week on Zoom and Teams. It keeps me active, keeps me busy, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I find I'm learning. I love the researchy bit, because one day we'll have some research that actually finds... well, that's another probably for another time. But, the cause of dementia is still very unknown.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? Well, 100%, if you're up for it, we'll have you back on the show.
Sure.
We'd love to have you as a regular, because I think it's inspirational to hear from you. We didn't even talk about the fact you've recently joined the gym. I know we spoke on a call a couple of weeks ago and said that was making you feel better. So maybe
it does.
we can chat more about that next time. But if you don't mind hanging around, we're going to have a little bit of a reminiscence corner where we play a clip from a previous episode. And then if you could stay around for that chat, I'd be really appreciate it. Cool. So we'll have a little break there and we'll be back.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mucho gracias.
We hope you're enjoying listening to our podcasts.
If you'd like to come on the show,
You can get in touch with us
if you're a scientist or a health expert,
if you're living with dementia or you're supporting anyone with dementia.
then drop us a line.
You can email us on hello@fightingdementiapod.com.
So thinking about the preventative aspects, so say you're talking to somebody in their 20s, 30s, what would you say are the sorts of things they need to be thinking about?
I'm going to take notes.
Now they're going to be they're going to be helpful.
So it's about good brain health and sleeping well. Sleeping's really, really important. And the reason sleeping's really important is when you think about your brain, you're losing brain cells all the while. So if you don't sleep well, then you lose more brain cells and you ain't going to get the brain cells back. Maintaining a healthy weight, physical activity. We're not talking about necessarily going to the gym and working really, really hard. We're talking about being physically active.
Like walking, going out for walks.
Yeah, going out for walks, engaging with, being meaningful, connecting.
Yeah.
So connecting physically, connecting socially is really important. So not being social isolated. And some people can be social isolated in a room with lots of people. So it's about those connections. Alcohol, drug use. Certainly think about your patterns of behaviour and addictive type behaviours in that sense. But it's also living a good life and having fun and being happy.
Yeah.
It's not thinking, oh, I've got to do things in an obsessive way. And I think one of the favourite tips I like when I talked to a neuroscientist was learning a new skill that you've not done before. And we obsess about being good at that skill. No, just learn a new skill.
Yeah,
So if you're going to paint and you say, oh, I can't paint because I can't paint, don't worry, paint badly.
Yeah.
But do it.
It's such a nice way of looking at it, isn't it? We're going to have to start doing every week. We'll learn something new every week. see how we get on.
The question of the week, what did you new skill did you pick up? Welcome back, everyone. So, we like to watch a clip from a previous episode and just have a little chat for a couple of minutes. So, how did that land with you, George? I mean, it was very interesting that he talks about painting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sleep, really important. Exercise, learning new skills, having fun. It's all this. I mean, I agree completely.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
How did that land with you, Tom?
It's very good, but I wish I'd known that when I was playing rugby. Because I think I wouldn't have been playing rugby as I was. Because I got battered a few times, and I'm sure that's something to do with my dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree with him.
Yeah.
It's true. I live my life how I want to do it. I do a lot of walking.
Yeah.
But I enjoy myself.
And you get to bed dead easy, don't you?
Oh, I go to bed sleep in the afternoon and sleep in the evening. I can fall asleep on a clothesline.
And how about you, Fran? How was that clip for you?
Oh, it was good. It is, the more I've been coming to the podcast and listening to different people, it's changed my view, which I think is good. Because sometimes you get in your own little,
bubble.
Oh no, I'm not doing that. No, I won't do that, and I won't do this, and stuff like that. But I think it just makes you sit back and think, for someone else who's looking at it now, it's right. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah. So you're saying I can buy you a paintbrush?
Yeah.
I do paint.
And an easel. You do painting, Tom?
I did
live
used
in
to
my dining
paint.
room quite regular.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
There we go. We need to get you an easel.
Yeah.
Oh, calligraphy.
Yeah.
Calligraphy?
Yeah.
No,
Oh.
calligraphy.
Oh, calligraphy. What's that?
So you burn.
Where you write in the
pic-
old-fashioned way.
No.
No, that's
this is-
calligraphy.
That's what I thought it was. That's
No.
calligraphy. He's saying polygraphy.
Oh,
you
I
burn
didn't know.
pictures into wood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like doing that. But something else, I go away from it, then I suppose eventually I go back to it. I go away from it again.
Yeah. Just when the interest peaks.
Yeah.
You have to do it at your own
Pace.
pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do.
Yeah, well, I think that's what he said in the clip, isn't it? It's not putting too much pressure on yourself to become obsessive about something. Don't go away from the podcast and think, right, that's it. I'm learning how to paint, and for the next 10 days, I'm going to do 3 hours a day of painting. That's not what it's about, because that's not going to be helpful. It's about doing what you can when you can, finding what interests you, because painting is not interesting to everyone, But learning the trombone for Dawn, who we had on, that was interesting to her.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
getting a lot out of learning the trombone and gone from not playing it at all to, well,
Making a
doing
noise.
pretty well. Yeah, making a noise, thanks.
One of the real strengths or good things about art and music is that research shows that if you are doing or even just listening to music, it uses more parts of your brain than any other activity because it's stimulating all sorts of thoughts and feelings and so on. So it is incredibly good for your brain.
Yeah, we had Dean on, who's a mental health lecturer, and he's also an advocate for Playlist for Life. And he talked a lot about that. And it when you were talking before about saying that you've got music on in the background whilst painting, I just thought, wow, what's that doing for your brain in those hours that you do it, or however long you do it for? You're lighting up your whole brain through the music, plus you're focusing on, like you said, the painting at the same time. I mean, you couldn't, all of the neuroscience is saying that those two things together seems like a great activity to be doing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And how did that clip land with you, Marian?
It's really interesting, and it's quite positive. You know, if you carry out these things, that you will be able to live longer.
Yeah.
And when you come back to the music, since Tom was diagnosed, he's always singing, and he was never like that before.
Is it good?
No, but it could be. It's Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves Christmas songs, but it makes him happy.
Yeah.
I could be standing in the queue at the supermarket and he's humming a Christmas song.
Yeah. And I'd encourage others to be like Tom and like you,
Yeah.
Fran, a bit in terms of, I don't really care what people think.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I would like to do.
Yeah.
But you did, because that polygraphy that Tom
Yeah.
took up, he doesn't do it as much now, but that was a new skill he learned.
Yeah.
He just thought, I quite fancy doing that. And you used to go in the garage and
For hours, yeah.
really enjoy it.
Great. We have to bring some in so we can see some of what you created before. Yes.
They are good.
Burnt 'em all.
Awesome. Well, I've absolutely enjoyed today. I think it's been absolutely fascinating. George, thanks so much for your time.
Cheers, George.
My pleasure.
Hopefully
Enjoyed
we
it.
can
Thank
have
you,
you.
George.
Hopefully we can have you on and back on in a couple of months, because I think there's so much more to talk to you about, especially seeing as how active you are and sort of the changes that you're trying to make, and to hear more about you joining the gym and how that's going.
Yeah, thank you.
How much you can
Thank
bench. And thanks, Marian, Tom, Fran, as
No
always.
problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you next week. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 That's all, folks.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to us today. Hope it's been useful. If you have any questions or comments that you wish to make, just contact us on social media.
Thanks again for listening today. Just a reminder to do your own research. We always take guests, scientists, researchers, people supporting people living with dementia at their word. They might talk about things that are new in science. They might talk about things that have really helped them. So just a reminder, do your own research. And thanks again for listening.